The money's not broken. The only thing that is broken are the lives of the people that it
Hmm.
crushes. Because in that sense, we are broken people as a means to achieve our ends. When we're
Hmm.
ground down and hollowed out, we can't actualize, our ends. And it's depressing. And I think the thing that gets people over that hump, is like to be sold just the tiniest sliver of hope, to see the tiniest bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I'm an optimist, or I have hope in the human spirit. That's where I kind
Hmm.
of place my faith in each other as human beings. I can't let go of the fact or the idea that if people see the truth, that it will touch them in some way. I worry more about the input and less about the output, because that's all I can really control at the end of the day. I can only write the best book I can write. When I was talking with my publisher, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's never good enough, and they're always in this editing phase, and they never want to actually publish it." And I was like, that was not my case at
Yeah.
all, because I threw myself at the wall. This is the best I have, and that's just it. Like, there is no perfection. Like, I was like almost sick at the idea of having to read it one more time, like do one more pass through. This is just it, and this is what I have. Is it perfect? Guaranteed not, because I'm a human being. I think sometimes we get hopeless when we're aiming at the perfection. We're aiming at that perfect life, or, because it's not achievable. So then why try? I don't think that's the human condition, is not to aim at the perfect and get mad that you can't hit it. It's to accept your humanity. Strive is one thing, to aim at the perfection, but then you just give it everything you have. That is your best. Like, your best effort to achieve perfection is, there's nothing left on the table. Like, so to me, that's a hopeful thing. It inspires me, but that's not just a me thing, that's a human thing, and leveraging that. It's like a brush fire though, so I
Hmm.
love the power law. It's a great model. It shows, how things have been. And it's like, it makes sense, because it's like, it's modeling human behavior. It's modeling how humans at scale process ideas and adopt things. But my caveat with that is just like, there's no principle that prevents everybody in the entire world from just adopting a Bitcoin standard right now. Like,
Hmm.
there's no principle. Like, it's just a choice. It's every human
Yep.
being's choice that they just say, I'm out, I'm done, I'm going to do this. And that could happen. Is it likely?
Yep.
No, it's not. Again, it's this in betweenness. It's this recognizing that, hey, we're human beings, and that they tend to, behave in a certain pattern, but also that pattern isn't binding. The pattern's not a principle in and of itself. It's not actually driving. And that's the cool thing about the ethics and the economic. What is the cart and what is the horse? And when we put economics first, we're like, look at this cart, look at how it got pulled around, and look at this, and we just say, like, well, that's how it's going to go. But it's like, no, there's a horse pulling that cart, and I want to focus on understanding the nature of that horse, so that I can help, get it to go where it needs to go. That's what I think this book is about. Is, first things first. Let's look at the principles driving the economy, driving human action. If we can understand ourselves, taking a look at ourselves, that's going to inform us so much better than just like looking at the past and modeling what people did. People didn't know what Bitcoin was. And then Bitcoin popped on the scene, and it's short circuiting most people's brains. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't see that as a bad thing. It's just, let's understand it. And then it's just an obstacle to try to overcome. And I think we can. Because people have done it. I always
Hmm.
have the most humility and gratitude for all the people that came before me, because I'm late to the party, right? I'm new to this space. I'm not an OG, but that doesn't matter. Whether you have 0 Bitcoin or 10 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, 1,000 Bitcoin, the number actually doesn't matter. It's the thing that matters, is important, is like, what percentage of you are you orange pilled? Like, that's all I
Hmm.
care about. I don't care about $1 million Bitcoin is fine, but I would rather have 1 million families onboarded. Like, the people are more important than the price.
Like, the last person onto a Bitcoin standard, whenever that is, will be the wealthiest person in the world, because society getting 1 million families on, or 10 million, 100 million families into Bitcoin, the last person will be living in such opulence and in such abundance, because the earth has healed to a great degree, not completely, obviously, but it will have healed so much that the last person on a Bitcoin standard, the last person accepting and finally getting into Bitcoin, will have already won so much at that point. And that's, I think, a good barometer of where we're at and just where we have to go. But it can happen quickly, and that's the other part of it, the dichotomy. But I want to go back to this, I missed it, it's too late type of thing. And like, again, you're kind of joking, like I'm late to this party, and it's only, 15, 16 years in, and, we're still really in the early adopter phase. In your eyes, what do you think when people are saying, hey, I'm too late? Because I've had this recently. I've had a lot of people come to me and say, hey, you got in at the right time, like I missed a boat, like it's 100,000 now. And I feel like Bitcoin is in this weird world where it's not cheap enough. People are living in this fiat world. It's not cheap enough for people. It's also too much. And a lot of Bitcoiners thought, hey, when it gets higher and higher, people will like be jumping in because it'll be so obvious at that point, and it's almost works against you. So it's like, again, you're like constantly stuck in the middle all the time of trying to figure out the right way to go about it.
It's a really good point. And the way that I think about it and would answer is, it's kind of like we're smuggling in the economic part over on top of the ethics there. So because we're talking a number go up, it's an investment. It's this thing that like I need to increase my wealth, and that misses the whole ethical thing is that you can create value in the world and it's yours, right? So my question then, what better monetary object do you have to store the value that you create with your life? That's the question. So if Bitcoin was $10 billion a coin, what better object is there that I can put my work today? Like it's not as if you don't work. It's not as if you stop creating value in the world. You need to do something with it. That idea that like, whoa, I have this OG bag. I'm a whale because like I got, 10,000 Bitcoin for 50 cents. And now all of a sudden I'm a billionaire and I just don't have to do anything. It's like, well, that's not a very fulfilling human life either. I wouldn't want to be that guy, because the value is living a full human experience and like experiencing relationships with other people and all that stuff. So like that's what being human is all about. What you do with your life, you have this inherent dignity inside of you, but then what you do with your life accentuates that dignity too. So if Bitcoin is $10 billion a coin, I'm not going to stop working. I still have to have a place to put the value that I'm creating. And it's like, there is no better monetary object because it can't be debased. If you go and you put it in stocks, okay, well, it's subject to all the speculation and maybe the CEO dies and then the company dies and all that. Like I just want what I create to be mine. Like that's like the moral, ethical thing that it solves. Absolutely. It's that idea that like the price is not the prize. It's the ability to protect the dignity of your work, the dignity of your human being. That's the prize. You get to be a full human being. So that's kind of how I would try to answer that question. It's just like, like the idea that you're late. It's like, it's never too late to save yourself. It's never too late to live a more full life. It's never too late to have more of yourself to invest in your children, more of yourself to invest in your relatives, more of yourself to invest in the communities. Like that's what Bitcoin gives you. The sovereignty part, the human dignity part, like that's really what you get. The upside to Bitcoin is just the adoption part. Like this is going to be a flat line. Whether or not it is a Nash equilibrium or not, or any of that is beside the point. The principle is like, hey, when you take all the value that's created in the world divided by 21 million, that's the constant that we want. It's just all the value, 21. That's what you get. And that's never too late because you are participating in the creation of that value, and you benefit as well from, hey, everybody else is creating a lot more value too, which, that's the Jeff Booth stuff with like the deflation. Like it's not a dirty word. No one bemoans the fact that their TVs get better and better and better, cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, even in this fiat world, which just like, that's a mind blowing thing. Like the technology has advanced so much that it can even outpace, all the inflation, like that's, people are really powerful things. And like your choices matter, how you direct your energy, how you spend your life, like it matters, not just to you, but to all of us. I want more people on the team giving it their all. There's no utopia. Like it's not like as if Bitcoin solves, the fallibility of man. It just gives us an honest measure. It just gives us a tool that decentivizes the worst inclinations that we have in our hearts. And like, that's, I think, the value. So it's just like when you sacrifice the macro for the moral, this resonates no matter what the price is today. It will resonate in 20 years and 50 years the exact same as it does today.
If you like that clip, then you definitely got to check out this next spicy clip. I think you're really going to like it. Come on, check it out. But if you want the full version, the full interview, then check that out over here. Come on, do it. I'll see you in there.